first years of MBA and Mtech batches to help them focus on their soft skills, technical skills, as well as management skills. The program includes resume writing, aptitude, interview tests, and group discussion preparation sessions held by industry experts who would evaluate students and provide their reviews. We also expect to make students familiar with the placement process and train them accordingly. This can help students in their self-evaluation and improving themselves. As a faculty member to this club, I'm thankful to our beloved principal, Dr. GGCV, for his vision in starting this club. I thank Dr. Jayashree PK, CETA Secretary, for coordinating with alumni, all our faculty members of this club, Dr. Bindu GR, Dr. Girija, Professor Shashi, and also our beloved student volunteers. Special thanks to our distinguished alumni, Engineer Satish Kumar, Advocate Murugesh Ramaiah, Ms. Priya Thomas, Ms. Asha, and Mr. Reju Nair. They have been interacting with students and faculty on a daily basis. CET is grateful to them for their constant support and motivation. Wishing all students participating in the program a very good experience, and also wishing you all a very successful and fulfilled life. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Anjan. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have Mr Babu Sivadasan as our chief guest tonight. He's the CEO and co-founder of JIFFY.AI. He has a distinguished record working with entrepreneurs, turning their ideas into innovative companies and delivering solutions for Fortune 500 companies. He possesses extensive experience in global software delivering models. He was also the founding technology officer for several startups, including stamps.com. Above all, he's a 1993 batch computer science pass out of our college. So without any further delay, I invite Sir to share a few words with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's so exciting to see you all. When I look around, 120 people on the call here, or 126, and I look at you, and it's so hard not to be reminded of yourself. That's what you see, right? And then realize that you're all my kids' age, So I'm talking to my own kids. Having that opportunity, pleasure is all mine, and thank you for having me here. Appreciate the opportunity. When I look at you, you are the future, right? So we are the past. We've taken on the baton from our previous generation who has built this place, right? Has done amazing things, and our generation took on that, and now it is time to pass that on to you, the future, right? And do amazing things. That I'm very certain that each and every one of you would do great things in the future and make us all proud. These things, this particular program, when I read about it, and it really excited me because it struck a chord with the experience that I've had personally, and totally unprepared to even talk to somebody. I would be shivering, right? Now, if you to talk to somebody, and a total lack of confidence, total anxiety about the future, and things like that. That taking me back, almost 30 years ago. That is me, right? Now, so forums like this, programs like this, especially coming from students, and driven by students, that is phenomenal, right? Now, to be able to recognize the need and prepare ourselves for the future. And kudos to you. Great program. Wish the program all the very success. So when I look at you, this is that final year, right? Now, or getting ready for that final year, and we worked hard for 15 years or 17 years, depending on, whether you are in that bachelor's program or the master's program. And, I can imagine the feelings, that go through your mind. It's anxiety, right? And a lot of anxiety about the future, what future holds for you, a deep sense of excitement also about the future at the same time, right? So anxiety about, am I good enough for this world? What is in store for me, right? Am I prepared, right? And how will that new world, because you've been in the education, getting educated all your life so far, right? So finally, you get to that point where you're going to be in a different world altogether, like that transition to that next phase, and it's natural to be anxious about it. And at the same time, the deep sense of excitement that you feel, right? You've worked all your life. I still say that getting through the comparative process, that we have in store, getting to the engineering program and things like that. Now, that is no joke. It's very, very hard, to get through, especially to an organization like the CET. You are the blessed. You are, you worked hard, and you've been rewarded, for your hard work all your life, so far, and with an opportunity to be part of CET, and the sense of pride and privilege, that you feel being a CETian, that is, that is something, that I carry with me in my heart every single day, right? So, and the excitement, you will get into that defining moment in your life, getting that first paycheck, getting that, after all this hard work all your life, getting yourself prepared, and finally you land that job, right? And then your blood and sweat, giving you that first paycheck, that is a unbelievable feeling, and I am sure each and every one of you will have have amazing careers. Some of you are today, right? When I look back, and a lot of my colleagues, they were, there were great technologists, so I'm sure there are some of you are hardcore technologists, you love everything about technology. Some of you are probably, leaders, so people, who can drive things, drive change, drive things. Some of you are probably, people who are built to be managers, so you have an amazing ability to get things done, by rally people around and get things done. So you have all of that today, right? So but at the same time, what's going to happen is, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the hardest technologies, maybe may change, to a different role, and that's what you would find, your passion to be in. So a lot of things, that you think, you are what you want to be, how you want to be today, that could change, and it has definitely changed in my case, so I'm sure I've seen a lot of people over the years, they've changed their, what they're good at, and some of it may be intentional, some of it is accidental, but it doesn't matter. You will find your way along the way, and you will excel in those things, that you're good at, and you'll find your way. There is no script that is written out there that you're just going to follow. So it'll come to you, and so as you take that first step, I do empathize with all those feelings, that you go through today, but forums like this, getting you prepared, especially on the technology side, being hardcore technologists, and I don't doubt, we go through a program that prepares you reasonably well, but then preparing you,
placement
preparing you for the next phase, in terms of how do you communicate that you're good enough to people who are willing to make an investment in you, in terms of hiring you, in terms of getting you prepared for that next set of opportunities, that they have in their enterprises. How do you convince them? How do you let them know you are worthy of their investment? And that is really the missing piece, that forums like this, is trying to address. I wish I had the luxury of that, but it's great that you're taking the initiative and getting yourself prepared for that. It'll be wonderful to go through those exercises and getting you that gap filled, right? And today, the one thing that is amazing about the world, especially after if you look at last 12 months, what has really changed is the statement that world is really flat. That is really true, right? So today, you can be anywhere in the world and be serving anybody, working in any opportunity for anybody in the world, or you could be creating opportunities, for anybody anywhere in the world. So that real no barriers, to the potential of what he can achieve. That is for real, especially after what we've gone through in the last 12 months, with everybody, where you belong, where you are based has become almost immaterial, and so that opens up a lot of opportunities for, especially for your generation. You don't have that baggage, and you're seeing the world for what it is. And you're seeing the world really flat. You're seeing the world, where opportunities are endless. So I would encourage you to pursue your dreams, fully, and abilities, the opportunity to pursue those. Your passion is unlimited today than more than any time in the past. So today, great enterprises are being created by graduates. Just even not even they're fully graduated yet, but still seeing that tremendous opportunities and the willingness to grab those opportunities and pursue things. The ability to find, when I graduated, I think, it was still almost a luxury if you are getting placed when you graduate, and that's not the case today. I think you have a lot of opportunities. So the ability, all you can ask for is the opportunity to be there, and then through hard work you will make it happen, right? And this process, as you're about to enter, going through the placement process and things like that, I'm sure some of you will make it in your first round. Some of you will make it in your second round or third round, and in my case, probably the last and final round, that I was lucky enough. But it's quite possible that you may have something even better in so when I look at myself, and the difficulties that I've faced, 30 years later, close to 30 years later, I can tell you that there is a reason for everything in life, what you go through. And I still think, the difficulties that you face prepare you for a better future, and don't ever let anyone let you down. If you don't make it in that first attempt or second attempt or third attempt, whatever that is, right? You would eventually, life is too long, right? And you will find your place. You will find the right opportunity, the right fit. Be positive about it. That you will find your opportunity at the right time. So. And don't be, so my message is not to be discouraged, because, just one incident or one opportunity, not, because we all make up our expectations built on, built on these models, that we have in our, in our mind, so that, okay, we getting that opportunity in the first round itself is or that's the end of the world. No, it's not, so, but being prepared, so as I mentioned earlier, that getting that from that anxiety phase, and getting truly confident, getting yourself truly confident. That's what this program, I believe, is designed to help you. So, and the initiative coming from students, you yourself, identifying that need and working towards it. That's, I commend you for that. And thank you everybody else, who are behind this initiative. I know CETA, a lot of volunteers, people like Satish and Murugesh and everybody who spent so much time on these. The willingness to spend enough time and provide you with the necessary guidance and things like that is amazing to see that happen. My only regret is I'm not finding enough time for those, but I will, along the way, I'll find that time. But it's exciting to be here and to kick off this program, and I'm sure everything, the program will be a great success, and you will all honestly benefit from this, and you may not see it immediately, right? But these kind of programs, the lasting impact that you will feel, right? That for years to come, you will find the value of those, so. And I am very confident that each and every one of you and your colleagues, who are not on this call, you will all get into very successful programs, and you will all ace it, in my opinion. There is no reason not to, right? And what I would say though is, after you get through that, you're taking the baton from us, and you will go on to do amazing things, and wish you all the very best for that. I hope, you don't forget about what got you here, what gets you to that next phase. Remember, being aware and being thankful about of the opportunity that you have, and your opportunity to build a phenomenal career for each and every one of you. Be thankful for that, and just be aware that being blessed, to be in this situation, and you built that opportunity. You've been blessed with that opportunity, but that is also you have a responsibility as well, as you build a phenomenal career for yourselves. That those opportunities that you've been blessed with came at somebody else's cost. There are millions of others, that don't have that opportunity, right? And we all have a moral responsibility to go and create more opportunities for others. As you become successful, go and repeat that. That becomes a virtuous cycle, right? And just keep that in mind. Don't forget your roots, don't forget your past. So and this is an organization that has created amazing individuals in the past, and you are carrying that legacy forward, and you will I'm certain that you will find alumni that are going to be helpful to you along the way, along your journey. We are a great community of the spirit of CET that lives deep. It comes right from the heart. We have that deep connection, and you will make us all proud. And wish you all the very best as you take on this important next step in your life. And when you have that first reward for your hard work, and get that first check, that, and finally be financially independent, achieve true independence. And I always say this, you don't achieve true independence until you are financially independent as well, right? So being able to earn, right, being able to put our hard work and get rewarded for that, and make sure you apply yourselves fully to your potential. Like you get those opportunities in your careers, especially your first job. Try to do your best, as much as possible. Demonstrate who you are, what you are capable of with your true hard work and determination, and there'll be limitless potential for you, right? So I wish you, each and every one, all the very best to grab that limitless potential that you're all blessed with, and make the CET brand proud, and we are passing the baton to you guys, and have all the very best, and all the very best to the program. Let's go crack it, and let's go ace it. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for making me part of this journey, and all the very best. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That was really inspiring. Thank you for giving us some of your time. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
So today we have planned the general session of our drive. Tomorrow we'll have a resume building session. After this, we'll have the next sessions in the following manner. On the 29th and 30th of April, we'll have an aptitude test session. On the 6th and 7th of May, there'll be a first impression and etiquette session. On the 13th and 14th of May, we have a session on GD preparation. And on the 20th and 21st of May, we have an interview training session. These sessions will be at 7 p.m. And after all these sessions have been completed, we are also planning for a mock placement program. So as per schedule, we move on to the orientation session. During the session, if you have any questions or doubts, you can just put it up in the chat box. Later, we'll have a Q&A session, so you can be asking your questions at that time. Today, we have Advocate Murugesh Ramaiah as a trainer of our session. Advocate Murugesh is a 1985 batch mechanical engineering pass out of our college. He had done his MBA graduation from Bharathidasan University, Trichy. He has 30+ years of experience in executive operations, recruiting, and staffing. He's the founder and CEO of Institute of Hardware Training. He's a human rights lawyer and a motivational speaker. Sir, I request you to start with the first session.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Let me first thank Babu for taking time off this busy schedule and kicking off this program. To any CET, and he's an example of what hard work can do. He's a real example and a role model as to how to harness technology and be successful, yet be humble, simple, and as approachable and as affable as ever. Thank you, Babu, for taking time off to be with us. Your presence will no doubt inspire many an entrepreneur in this college and across the world. Thanks again, and I would humbly request you to take time off your schedule to spend time with students over the course of this program and over the course of the year, because your story really inspires people. A lot of people don't know it fully yet, but hopefully you will share it with us, which will inspire many a student that anything is possible with hard work, determination, grit, and above all, the perseverance which we have shown in the last 30 years in a hyper competitive world called the Silicon Valley. Thanks very much, Babu, for taking time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Murugesh.
Yeah. Let me kick off the first session by first thanking the principal of this college for his amazing vision for taking CET to be part of the top 25 engineering schools in India. A lot of people have a vision, but this principal is of a different genre altogether. He combines words with actions. And this program is one of the many programs wherein which will help the students get the jobs which they need at the right place at the right time. Just a minute. Hello. Sorry. I mean, this program is primarily part of whatever he started. Let me also thank the other faculty members, Professor Anjan, Professor Sunil, Professor Jayashree, and others, without whose active support and cooperation this program would not have even taken off the ground. Not to mention the hard work by the volunteers of this group. Before I go there, let me tell you briefly about this club. This club formed with the
Murugesh, some audibility problems. No. Maybe you.
No, sir, you're not audible right now.
Hello.
Yeah, now it's fine.
I mean, was I not audible in the last couple of minutes, or?
Yeah,
only last two sentences.
Yeah.
Okay. This thing wouldn't have started off but for the initiative of the faculty and the students. So let me give the general orientation for this session and on what to expect out of this program. But before going into the regular model of telling you what will be there in the session, I plan to do it differently because I would like to hear from the 150 plus students, not 150, it could be around 140 plus students who have assembled here, as to what do they expect from the program. They can put the questions in the chat box and I will try to answer that after my brief introduction about what to expect. Let me tell you from the beginning, like the esteemed keynote speaker said, nothing works without preparation. A lot of you have the opportunity to prepare. But before going there, let me explain to you from my 2 cents impression of what the market is going to be in the post-COVID era. It's not all that gloomy. All the companies really require good people. They're not going to compromise on the quality, which means every placement opportunity which comes into campus must be used by us fully. Can I continue?
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, every placement opportunity must be used fully as to the fullest. What it means is that in the past, what would happen is that if company X doesn't go there, that we'll think that a company Y is going to come or company Z is going to come. There were more opportunities available than the number of students available for a good institute like CET. But right now, what is happening and what the industry experts are saying is bulk hiring is going to take a beating. Bulk hiring is not going to happen at the way it happened in like in the past. Every company is going to come in and look for really good people. People are going to look for people in specific focus areas. Uh, uh, which doesn't mean that you may not get 100 people joining a company A. You may require 10 people, but this company A, which is going to come and hire 10 people, is going to be look for the best, which means in the past, what would happen is if there is some candidate who's not that good, we might say, okay, fine, let us train him and get him. The companies today are going to look at people who are going to be productive from day one, and there is going to be much more competition for us. So the only option, and in the last year, from the feedback what I've got from interacting with students in the last 1 year, a lot of companies have come and they have come and gone saying that yeah, the students are okay, but their soft skills are missing. Their technical skills are missing. They're giving some reasons and then going. We need to, this program is primarily designed to ensure that it's not that it's an ottamuli for the program, you will be fully prepared. No, don't expect that. This program is only going to give you a proper framework or give you a foundation as to what you should be doing in the coming days. This program is going to be quite different. It's going to be quite different from the models which we have done last year. What we are doing this year is very different. What we are going to do this year is we are going to not go for the mocks immediately. For example, when we are going to, this program is divided into multiple, multiple sessions. Let me tell you about the first session. The first session is teaching you about how to build a resume, which means this session would ideally cover what should not be there in a resume. I repeat, what should not be there in a resume, what should be there in the resume, and what an ideal resume should look like, and what are examples of good resumes and bad resumes. And we will go into question and answer sessions. Then when it comes into aptitude test, this is a critical area where a lot of our people are having issues because companies come with various forms of aptitude tests. They come with various models of aptitude test, and they use the resume and the aptitude test to reduce the work for the HR guy. HR വന്നിട്ട് പറയും നമുക്ക് ഇന്ന് 20 പേരെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം പക്ഷെ 100 പേര് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. So they are primarily initially going to use your resume to do the weeding out based on marks or projects done or co-curricular activities, and then they will use your aptitude test. An aptitude test will consist of two parts. One is the general aptitude and the technical aptitude. This program will cover various forms of aptitude test and what you should be doing to crack them. And we have got people from the industry who will come and talk to you in this particular area. After that comes, after you crack these two things, next comes the sad thing called group discussions. Companies use this again to reduce the number of people. The group discussions, I have my own theory about group discussions, but how does a group discussion help a hardcore technical person? But companies continue to use this primarily to reduce the people. What we can do here is to prepare. It's not that, like I told you before, it is not going to be an ottamuli for handling the group discussion. It will tell you what are the various kinds of group discussions it would be there, how to handle it, when to talk, what to talk, how to talk. And obviously, when you come to the mock sessions, we will run through a couple of mock sessions. Again, people from the industry, people who have conducted group discussions, people will give you the various topics. What are the couple of points which you need to handle, which you need to take care when you handle a group discussion? Then comes the how does one present oneself in the interview? How does one handle an interview? How does one handle a Zoom call? Because a lot of these things might happen on Zoom call, a lot of face-to-face Zoom, or it's a virtual world altogether. So So this program will cover how to handle a Zoom call. For example, when people go into Zoom calls, like when this call was going, I had a network problem. Somebody was screaming in the background. How do we avoid all these things? How to ensure that we, because you're going to get 10 minutes of the time. 10 minutes is going to decide your first paycheck. It's not that you need to put pressure on yourself, but have we prepared ourselves fully well for that? That is what this program aims to do. And lastly, it goes into the interview, how to handle various kinds of interviews. And interviews could be, it could be an HR interview, how to handle, and how to handle a technical interview. And an interview, you trust me, I mean, you have covered, you've finished your resume, you finished your aptitude test, you finished your group discussion, and then you come to the interview, and you get 10 to 15 minutes, which will decide your fate. It's not that one interview you lost means that you lost everything. No, the company didn't like you or you didn't like the company. The feeling is mutual. Do not allow that to depress you or get you into a depression spiral wherein you mess up the next interview. So this program is primarily designed to tell you what are the various kinds of interviews, what are the techniques the interviewers use to put pressure on you, how does one, how does one tackle it, and how does one, if I mean, it could be some very simple things like, I mean, if you don't know an answer, do I bullshit? Or do I make an intelligent guess? Or do I say, I don't know? And ensure that the interviewer has interest in you. The core of the program is to prepare you. I mean, the best of the people who prepare, whether be it a basketball player like Curry or a batsman like Tendulkar, they spend numerous hours practicing the same shot, practicing the same dunk, practicing the same how to bowl. I mean, practice makes one person perfect. It's not that all of us are born with great communication. English college, we all have gained it over the period in time through what is known as hard falls, through really hard falls. What you think that you might be overconfident. The entire program aims at giving you a broad framework, a foundation to build on how to go into the next level. Above all, after this program, what we intend to do is to have a couple of mock sessions or the mock placement kind of a thing, like the presenter told you. We would come back to you with, and this mock placements would obviously be done by people who are part of the industry, people who are technical experts. Before I open the floor for questions and get to understand from you, what do you want from us in this program? Yeah, this is what we want to do. We have told you the program schedule is all put there, but nowhere we have asked the trainers, the trainees, or the people who are participating in this program, what do you want? If you think that you want to put some questions in it, put some questions. Already some questions are starting to come in. Or if you have suggestions, you can put the suggestions in there. If you think that there are a couple of other things which you want the program to cover based on your experiences or what your senior batches have told you, we can put that in. I'm trying to not make it a listening session. I want it to be a part of a hearing session to understand from you, what do you want from us? And that could also be the beginning of what is known as the BBC session, how to crack it and how to ace the interview. Until you know what you want, you are not going to, and you express it clearly. Here you don't need, you are among your friends, you are among your people. You can express it, what you want, and then we can take it from there. Broadly, before opening the floor for questions, I'm just telling you, this program consists of how to make a resume, what should be there in a resume, what should not be there in a resume. Then we go into aptitude test. Then we go into interview etiquette. Then we go into group discussions. Then we go into interviews. These 5 sessions hopefully will make a person better equipped how to face the future. Much of it would be interactive. Much of it would involve role plays. Much of it, again, when I'm saying role play, I would want, or we would want, volunteers who are allowing themselves to be interviewed in front of 100 people, and they need to perform. They need to be their natural selves. So and then we can go into mock. So the point is, this program will make you better a little bit. Don't have great expectations, but the expectation should be this will give you the framework based on which you can get into the next stage and move from there. I'm open for questions about the program, and then we can move from there. And if anybody has to have questions, you can put it there, or you can ask, whichever way the organizers want it to be done.
Okay, sir. So we are having a Q&A session right now.
You can. I don't want to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking tomorrow and for some more time.
Okay. So Arjun will head the Q&A session. He'll mediate it. So Arjun, could you please unmute? And
yeah, I've got a first question from Jessin Alex. I will answer that question, and Arjun can take over. At least she put the would the pandemic affect our placement opportunity? The pandemic will affect the placement opportunity for people who are not confident, who are not bold, and who think that they have a problem. In every problem, there is a solution. There are companies who are coming in. There are placement opportunities. There are the startup market is very good. It is not going to affect, but we will have to work hard. We will have to identify the kind of more kind of companies. There is not going to be bulk hiring. Even if there is bulk hiring, the number of people who are going to be hired is less. So the effort should be to find out more companies and be prepared for every opportunity. In my mind, for an institution like CET, nobody needs to worry, because you have a good placement cell, you have a good, strong alumni network. CETA will have to also see how to leverage the network. I mean, there are around 800 students or 900 students coming out, 1,000 students coming out for placement. Our alumni is couple of, it must be at least 30,000 or 40,000 plus strong. 10 out of which 5,000 people will be in good positions in various institutions. If they decide that they to come to CET, I mean, we'll have more jobs than we can handle. So this time is going to be not the regular model of placement. You have, as students, you have to prepare hard, really, really hard. Whereas you need to work the net, you need to improve your communication, you need to improve your technical skills. A lot more effort. Every interview is a war. Treat it like a war and go after it. So you don't need to worry about it. So yes, it is. There are challenges, but tough times make tough people come out in flying colors. And I suppose every CETN is a tough person, in my opinion. And that has possibly seen a lot of us here into whatever we have to do. And the next question Jason asked was, how can we overcome the same and kickstart a career? Watch out for the next 10 days, next 10 days of training program. Possibly it will put you on the path to take it to the next level. Jebin Jose asked a question. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, let me answer the easy questions first. Okay, Ashwin, I will come to you. How do we analyze latest trends? Trends are two types. Trends are two types. One, the technology trends, whichever branch you work or whichever field of area you want to. Whichever is the area you want to keep reading, start networking with people in that area. Look at, identify the list of companies you want to work in. Find out what each of those companies look for in the freshers they are going to hire. As regards materials and the sites which you need to understand the trends you need to do. Number one, the first and the most important thing, I will cover that as a part of the, what do I say, in my tomorrow's sessions, in the resume making sessions. A couple of sites, you need to be in social network. When I mean professional networking sites, that is possibly LinkedIn, Zoom Info, couple of professional networking sites you definitely need to be in. Each of these professional networking sites will give you the kind of trends, technologies, become members of various groups in LinkedIn, which will help you understand which is the various techniques, which are the trends and technologies which you need to do. what are the trends going to be in the another, which are going to govern the world? A lot of reading is going to only help you understand it. How can we be one step ahead? Number one, let's finish the training program. You will be 25% prepared. From that, let us see how to take it from there. Jebin, if I've answered your question, please let me know, or you have a follow-up question, I'm willing to take it. Yours is a very broad question. If I'm going to answer, it's going to be a long answer. But a lot of your questions will be covered as a part of the program, what we are doing. Jevin, can I take the next question, please?
Yes, sir, you can take the next question. I've understood it. As the session comes, I'll ask more.
Yeah, otherwise, you can get my ID or phone number from the organizers and WhatsApp me.
Okay,
I
sir.
would respond, but obviously there will be a delay.
No, it's fine, sir. I'll wait. It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next question from Mr. Ashwin Kumar. What goes first, the experience or the education? It will be covered in the next session, but I would say the work experience projects come first. Education comes later.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Hello. We would cover this as a part of the resume making session, Ashwin. But ideally, if you have good experience and good projects, which will interest a campus placement person, because obviously you don't need to tell a campus placement where you are educated from. So your resume can obviously talk about the beginning of the real estate should be more on what you have done the best. Okay, the next question. Do I need more than one version of your resume? I will cover that in the next interview. What is best format, chronological or skills or functional? These are questions which ideally, Satish, can I cover this tomorrow or should I answer this today?
Murugesh, I think some of the volunteers will pick up the questions from the chat box.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, next question.
Aditya, I think we have a volunteer who is going to do that.
Yes, sir. Arjun is heading the Q&A session.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Loud and clear, sir.
Roger that, sir.
Go for it.
Sir, so the frequent Q&A that were asked by the students, where I'll read out the questions, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir.
All yours.
So the question is,
should I include the jobs?
The frequent questions are, sir, what if my name is hard to pronounce or it fails to clarify my gender? Then what I have to do?
Okay. Number one, recruiters have been told to be gender neutral. As regards pronunciation of my name, at this point in time, most of the companies who are coming into CET are companies which are headed by HR folks from India. And most of our names in Kerala are far more easily pronounceable than the rest. So I don't think you need to worry about those things. Just say your name, and if your name is very, very big and you want to be called a small name like they do in the West, put that in the bracket. But that is all uncalled for. Because that will be an interview question. Why waste it? Suppose if my name is Satchinder Singh or something. Let's say one of the questions, if I can't pronounce it, I will ask the first thing, how did I pronounce it right? The interviewer will be apologetic it is always good to make the interviewer apologetic, right? If your name is Alexander Strosowski, obviously nobody can pronounce it. Nobody will have name. So interviewer will say, did I pronounce it right? Yeah, you did it right, sir. Thanks. Normally people don't do it that easily. Make the field interviewer good. Or some interviewer who's trying to be smart like me last, what does your name mean? I can't really get it. That is one interview question down, which means you are setting up the interview in your own terms.
Yes, sir.
Have I answered the question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Next question.
So the next question is, sir,
Well, one statutory warning. Some of the questions I will backhand for tomorrow, because otherwise my poor team who's going to working with me will have no work for doing the presentation tomorrow. So some
No
of the
problem, sir.
questions I might backhand it for tomorrow as much as
No
possible.
problem, sir.
But whatever is a generic one, I will answer it.
Sure, sir.
And if there is other people who can pitch in, please pitch in, because whatever I am saying is not the gospel truth. It is from my perspective and my own limited world vision. Go ahead. Next
So
question.
can I shoot the next question, sir?
Shoot, but not directly.
So, what are the most important aspects of a resume, sir, and how can one remember them? It's very basic questions, though.
ഇത് നാളെ പറഞ്ഞോട്ടെ അത് please. നാളെ
Sure,
പറയേണ്ട
sir.
ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്.
Okay, sir.
A couple of things I'll tell you generically what should be there. A resume
Sir.
should reflect your personality. It cannot be a MS Word format, or which is given in the nearby typing shop or the job workshop or the DTP center. ഒരു കാര്യം മാത്രം ഞാൻ ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞേക്കാം. It should reflect your personality, it should reflect your skills, and don't write in the end all I have said is true to my capability and ability and with full of spelling mistakes. അത്രേ ഞാൻ പറയും. Rest is tomorrow. ഇതൊരു ട്രെയിലർ മാത്രമാണ്. ശേഷം സ്ക്രീനിൽ നാളെ. Next question.
Sure, sir. So then I'll ask my friends to ask some questions if they are having, sir.
Go ahead. Mohammed has, it's a very interesting question. Mohammed the Mushtaq has asked, what is the ideal strategy for a core branch student? Focus on core or for core and IT, if you are interested in both. Very interesting question. It's a dilemma. It's a $1 million question facing every student this year. Number one, at this age of 20, at the age of 21, a lot of us do not know what we want to do. Starting with, a lot of us joined engineering because of whatever reason it is. For me, I know it was a mistake, but I didn't have a choice, because coming from a middle class Tamil family, engineering medicine and market engineering. But end of 21 years, I didn't know, for various reasons, I wasn't well prepared to get technical jobs. So then I went and did my MBA. So ideal strategy for a core branch student in the Parayanang, if you think that you are a mechanical engineer and you want to get a mechanical engineering job, what I would suggest, or an electrical engineer who wants an electrical engineering job, or a civil engineering student who wants to be in the civil, look at the kind of companies who you would like to work with. Start working on how to get jobs in those kind of companies. If those kind of companies are not coming in, make a list and approach to CGPU and tell them that we have to get, these are the kind of companies coming in. Or when there are specific branch-wise trainings, technical trainings happening, that will give you an idea on what do you want. IT, it's a very misunderstood word. It is not that IT jobs are the beginning of the end all of everything. No, IT jobs are good. They offer a brilliant career start. You get great starting salaries. All that is good. Get into IT if you think that you are interested in it and you are cut out for it. It doesn't mean that everybody who have got into it are not. What I'm saying today is that we are living in a pandemic-driven economy where a lot of bulk hiring IT companies might or might not do those kind of volume hirings. So in that kind of a circumstances, it is good to stick on to your core area. For example, a mechanical engineering student, there are mechanical engineering companies haven't stopped hiring. It's just that they don't come and hire from CET. We'll have to find out to get them here to come and hire. So, but if you think CET is not coming in, you need to find out how each of these companies are going to hire. How, I mean, you will have to be very clear that before we decide whether you want a core IT job or a core job or a core IT job, you have to decide, do I want to do my post-graduation? This is a good time to do a post-graduation, whether be it in engineering or doing your MBA, India or abroad. USA or a lot of other places, because there are in US there are restrictions on people from certain countries coming in, so competition is less, aid is there, market is bad there. So I mean, you get a lot of scholarships. So you have to first decide whether you want a job or you want to go into a civil services, banks, or whatever it is. Then you decide whether you want to be a core IT, a core function job or IT job. When you're doing core, decide on the kind of companies you like to, and then work on it.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Sir, you're not audible. No, you're not audible.
Hello.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah. Did you miss out anything?
No. Just at the last.
Yeah. So couple of I will answer more on this question as we go ahead from end the program. Okay, the next question, please. And you decide how long do you have for the questions. The next question is do I pick it up or the volunteer is picking up for me?
Arjun will be picking up.
Sir, I guess no more general questions regarding this topic, sir.
Sir, I feel like there's a good question in the chat box from Justin. How should we prepare for the session? Things to do, like what to expect from these sessions, he's asking, I guess.
Is that what he's asking? Can I ask him to prepare for the session, things to do?
Yeah, that's the question. Justin, if you want, you can unmute and ask sir directly in general.
Hello?
Yeah, Justin, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, like you said, tomorrow our session starts. So I was just asking, how should we get prepared for the same?
Okay, number one, get your resume. Get your resume. Read. Go to how to make the best resume. Get your resume first. Look at your resume. Number one. See whether you can make some improvements in the resume. Don't tell us. Look at, is this what your best resume can be? What is the time you have spent on making a resume? Don't do a cut and paste job. And then at the end of the session, decide, did I do it right or wrong? The most important thing you have to do for tomorrow's session is everybody should prepare their resume. One. Second, if you think that you can think and then make the resume better, make the resume better and keep it with you. And go through the session. Find out, is this all what we talked about? Or is there something more you need to do? Number one, what you need to do, prepare your resume. For a core job or for a non-core job, forget about it. Prepare your resume. Develop something which reflects your personality, reflects you, not a generic one from Google, not a generic one from somewhere. What it should be there, you decide, and then you make it, and then come for the session tomorrow. And let's see how to take it from there. Mohammad's next question. Also, how should my jobs be listed? Keep it keep it as a part for the session. To answer Pranav's question, obviously, if you've done your internship and projects in a specific area, it will definitely help in that core company. And it also depends on how you present that particular project in your resume. It will also determine how you need to make it clear that this project, what was the topic of the project, what was the end result of it. Don't generally write, I went to ISRO, helped in launching PSLV. Nobody is going to believe you. I mean, I've done that and got messed up in a couple of interviews. So I'm just saying that say what you actually did and what you actually learned and what is the benefit to the organization. Then it will benefit you in a core company interview. Clear? Have I answered that question or anything is missing?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, great. If there are no other questions, so
there's one last question.
Hold on. Oh, there's another couple of questions coming in. That's a nice question. Okay, Elizabeth, to answer that question, before realizing what has got more scope in the new era, you have to make a skills inventory for yourself. You decide what are you good at. If you want to be in HR, there are a couple of things which you need to be good at. If you want to be in finance, it depends on what your graduation is and what you want to be in finance. Which area of finance you should be in. Would you be able to compete against those people who have those specialized degrees in finance? These are questions what you need to answer before we get into it. I'll tell you what problem I had. I went ahead and took marketing and HR. End of it, I didn't know whether I had to get into marketing or in HR because HR jobs were very little to come. So I went for a marketing job. Not that I was a total failure there, but it could have been better if I had joined the job what I wanted. So I didn't have to make career changes when I had one foot in the grave. So before you decide what is in our new era, you decide what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. And as an MBA student, you'll be sure that what you look for. What I mean, for example, what is HR person want? An HR person definitely should be a good communicator, should have excellent analytical skills, should be a people's person, should enjoy talking to people, should be able to be heartless most of the times, should be able to convey what the company wants first, not what you think you want. End opinion, opinion. Broadly, you have to decide what you want to do. A finance person, maybe you don't need to do a lot of interaction. Maybe you need, if you are good, good in project. You have to decide what your strengths are based on your basic degree also. Elizabeth, I hope I've answered the question. Rest of it, you can throw bounces at us as we go through the program. Jebin, don't ever use templates. Heaven's sakes, create your own, draw your own picture. It might look ugly, but we can make it better. You can use MS Word or you can use PDF. Ideally, use PDF or MS Word, but ensure that you do it with the proper formatting and without spelling mistakes, about which we will talk about more in detail tomorrow. But what I would recommend is MS Word or Adobe, because a lot of companies use these days resume reading software to capture key data. So ideally MS Word and Adobe. And if my answer is wrong, the other senior panelists here who are presenting can correct me because I might be wrong too. Okay. Anyway. If there are no, are there any more generic questions? If not,
Anybody can unmute, like anyone, if you have any
anyone. I would want a couple of questions.
I think Jebin was having a question, sir. Jebin was having a question.
Jebin, you are taking too much time. People are getting scared of you. You ask your question, but I want a couple of others to ask questions.
No, sir. I have asked it in the chat box. It was about the
template. You unmute yourself and ask. But what I want everybody... I am very... I mean, either class participation mark illa, judge around 100 plus of ningala pole, ningala college, വേണ്ടാത്ത പരിപാടി എല്ലാം ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഈ സ്ഥിതി വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതൊന്നും ഞാനൊരു നല്ല സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ഒന്നും അല്ലായിരുന്നു. ആ സമയത്ത് പഠിപ്പിച്ച ഫാക്കൽറ്റി ചോദിച്ചാൽ പറയുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് there is nothing, this thing, you can openly ask questions. Consider us as your elder brothers and sisters and ask questions, please. ഈ unmute ചെയ്ത് chat box ഇടുന്നതിന് you can ask us. This program should let go of our inhibitions, because end of the day, all of us are from the same place and we are there because we are possibly the best in care. And we don't need to be, I mean, I go to some private colleges and other colleges to do these talks, and the amount of questions I get, my God. നമ്മുടെ കോളേജ് വരുമ്പോൾ മാത്രം ഞാൻ അടി ഉണ്ടാക്കണം എല്ലായിടത്തും. ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുന്നു. I don't know why. I hope end of this month there will be more questions from my younger brothers and sisters. Good. Okay. Ananya, that's a nice question. If I were, let me put myself in your shoes, let me answer the question. ഞാൻ ഇത് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ 5 കൊല്ലത്തിൽ 5 8 കൊല്ലത്തിൽ CET-ൽ വന്ന കമ്പനീസിന്റെ ലിസ്റ്റ് ഞാൻ എടുക്കും. അപ്പൊ ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ഗിവ് മീ എ ബ്രോഡ് ഐഡിയ. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ പോലെ ഉണ്ട്. പണ്ടത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ ഞങ്ങളൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്ന കഴിഞ്ഞ 10 കൊല്ലത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ പഠിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ തലേന്ന് എങ്ങനെയും രക്ഷപ്പെടും എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു പണ്ടത്തെ തിയറി. എന്നാലും എനിക്ക് സപ്ലൈ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഇതില് broadly we know which are the kind of companies which are the kind of companies which are generally coming into CET. Out of that, you make a list of companies which you will be interested in. One. Second, interact with your placement coordinators or the central placement unit or with whoever it is to see is that company coming in. And if you have some kind of a dream company coming in, try interacting through these various clubs with the alumni to see whether that particular company is coming in. For example, I'll tell you an example. I'll tell you an example during my MBA days. One of my friends who wanted to, he was mad to join a bubblegum company. Of all of those days, the most innovative bubblegum company in India was a company called Big Fun. They used to give there is a bubblegum called Big Fun. So he found out from that and told the placement people saying that, can you check whether they will hire here? Ultimately, we found out there was an alumni who passed out 2 years back, 1 year back was working there. So whoever was there contacted them and tried to get them in. Students also, in my opinion, I'm not creating problems for anybody like I always used to do when I was there. But if there are kind of companies which you like, put them in the list, try to interact through these clubs. Get in touch with alumni who was working there. Go check in the LinkedIn, in their LinkedIn profiles. If this is a dream company, I want to join this dream AI startup. Now you know or I want to join this machine learning startup, or I want to join this mechanical engineering design company. Find out about that and then network and try to do somewhere. As regards finding out which are all company coming to CET, that's a question which I cannot answer. I don't have the knowledge to do it, but I suppose the central placement unit will broadly inform everybody what are the placement companies coming there. But as a shortcut, you can look at the track record last 10 years. The list is put up in the website last when I saw it. That will give you an idea about what are the kind of companies coming. Ananya, I hope I've answered the question. And if you want to interact with, if you want to get more ideas as to how to go after dream companies after these sessions are over, feel free to get in touch with me. I can give you a thought or so as to how successful people have done it. Not me, very successful people have done it, and then we can take it from there. And Ananya, have I answered your question? Can you unmute? And if you have a follow-up question, you can ask the question. That's the first step in being bold and confident. I think we should ban Satish. I think the next session you should ban the chat box and force people to unmute and ask questions. Any other questions? I'm getting angry. Seriously. Why are we not? I mean, ഞങ്ങൾ ആരും വെളിയിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാരല്ലല്ലോ. ഞങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളെ പോലെയുള്ള സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആയിരുന്നില്ലേ? അനേക്കാൾ മോശമായിരുന്നു. The point is, we need to get over this fear. This fear is not what CET is all about. There are around 106, 108 people who are there, out of which minus the faculty and guest will be around 20. There are 80 odd people who are going into the market. And 80 odd people should remember one thing. This is your home pitch. This is your home ground. In this ground, you will have to find ways to get there. I look forward to people asking more questions after tomorrow. Let me not chance my luck.
Sir, is it fine if we share your contact info in the chat box so that people, if they want, they can contact you later?
Go ahead. No problem. Okay. But if it is delay, you may have to ask one more time. That is all.
Okay.
And if it is not there, you send a message to Satish and saying that I'm not responsive. I'll get galis from him, then I will respond. അതിന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓംബുഡ്സ്മാൻ ഉണ്ട്. സതീഷ് സാർ നമ്മുടെയൊക്കെ ഓംബുഡ്സ്മാൻ, ഈ ട്രെയിനേഴ്സിന്റെയൊക്കെ ഓംബുഡ്സ്മാൻ. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങൾ ആരും കറക്റ്റ് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ സതീഷ് സാറിന് മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചാൽ മതി. ബാക്കി തെറി അദ്ദേഹം തന്നോളും. ഞങ്ങൾ വി വിൽ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി. Fine, guys. It's been a good session, and I mean, we've been really fortunate in having Mr. Babu here. He is an example. Read up about him. I mean, I never knew he is one of the founders of this company called stamps.com. Go find out what stamps.com is. In the US, you can put your photo and create a postal stamp. ചാവണമെന്നില്ല, വലിയ ആളാവണമെന്നില്ല. പൈസ കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ പേരിൽ തന്നെ ഫോട്ടോ സ്റ്റാമ്പ് വരും. പക്ഷെ അവരൊരു ഫീസ് അതിന് ചാർജ് ചെയ്യും. Amazing concept. I mean, he's one guy all of us should look at. He's one of us. Any other questions?
Okay, I think.
Nothing, Sadish. So
Yeah, I think we can wind up for the day, and then tomorrow we can.
Yes.
Aditya, you have.
Yeah, sir. So I run the Q&A session then.
Yeah, the Q&A session is over, and I think I've lost it. My sales touch. I've not been able to make one student unmute themselves and ask questions.
Guys, go for it.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good.
Okay.
Sita here, Mukesh.
I was just seeing who is this Sita.
ഞാനും വിചാരിക്കാൻ കണ്ട നല്ല പരിചയം.
Good. I was asking.
The most vibrant alumni member from across the globe, I would say.
Correct. Truly the most vibrant. A true CETL.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Ask.
Okay.
Murugesh, just get advantage of it.
ശരി, അപ്പൊ ഇന്നല്ല ഇതൊക്കെ ട്രെയിനിങ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടെങ്കിലും ആരെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കുമോ എന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാം.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Murugesh sir, I just want to ask you: are you happy with your success, the success you have achieved?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
So you expected more from yourself.
Truly. And
okay.
I mean, but end of the day, when I go home and sleep, I every day think that I've done a full day's work and go to sleep. There are a lot more things which, when I look back, a lot more mess-ups which I should not have done. I see that, but I don't correct I mean, I try to correct, but it's not possible. But I think I could have, I could have done more. I mean, and that keeps me going. And that keeps me coming and sharing with the mess-ups what I've done in my life with students and with others, so that you don't make the same mistake, you commit a new mistake. And every day has been a learning experience, thankfully, to my family, God, friends, a lot of people here. I know I've given a diplomatic answer, but I'm not happy. I know I could have done more, and that drives me every day. And I keep a crazy schedule, and the feeling that there is more to be done in so little time keeps me going. And not only me, a lot of us going. A lot of us. Did I answer the question, or am I being very politically correct?
Yes, sir. One follow-up question.
Go ahead. Good.
So, if we are facing with problems in our life, should I focus on the problem, or should I focus on getting a solution to solve it?
Look at the solution and prevent the problem from happening again. I can tell it with an example. I used to think the sales job, what I was doing after my MBA, was messed up, and I used to curse myself, and I used to drink myself to death every day. Then suddenly I realized this is not worth the trouble. What am I doing? The work is not good. What should I do? It's not enough that I pray to God every day that God give me a better job. I need to do something about it. I need to make a resume. I need to find out what I want to do. I did that, and I ended up joining another liquor company called McDowell's from a company which was selling fertilizers and pesticides. I mean, it's just that moment you realize you have a problem at work or at life or anything, don't wallow in it. Say that God has been unkind to me. Fine, man, God has messed up with you, or your boss is messing around with you, or your super boss is screwing around with you. Fine, fair enough. What are you going to do about it? And how can I do it? Talk to people. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not do the mistake what I did. I was scared to ask for help. ഞാൻ കോളേജിലേക്ക് വലിയ ആളായിരുന്നു. എനിക്ക് ഞാനൊരു ഗോൾ അടിച്ചെന്ന് 10 പേര് പറഞ്ഞാൽ 10 പേര് എന്ത് വിചാരിക്കും? No, don't go there. If you feel that you are in a mess, talk to your friends, talk to your seniors, talk to your mentors. This is something which we will cover it, the importance of having a mentor and others in the program. Have a mentor, have people whom you can reach out. Be open. There is no ego in it. When you are in a mess, you are in a mess. You need to come out of it. Don't do what a lot of us, e-group have done it. Yeah, problem, and we ended up cursing the world. No, don't do that. Look at how to come out of it and get rid of, and be heartless, be rational, be cold, be unemotional when you know there is a problem. Any more follow-ups?
No, sir, you answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for asking that pretty direct question.
I hope it didn't offend you, sir. Because you mentioned direct. That's why.
No, direct. Oh, no. Good. I'll give you a small thing. When you ask a question, never be bothered about how the other person thinks. That is what CETians are supposed to be. And then you didn't offend me at all. And I was 1 minute taken aback, because this is a question which I keep asking myself every day, or not every day, at least quite 2-3 times a week. Am I happy doing what I'm doing? Have I been good enough in reaching where I am reaching? Most of the time the answer is no. Have I done anything about it? Sometimes. Other times I have not. Could have been better. No complaints.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. And for heaven's sake, do not ever apologize for asking a question. Never ever apologize. You ask because it's your right to ask, and you have to ask.
Never again, sir.
Good. That's one change that happened. Let's be BBC men. Be bold and confident. Good. Can we?
Okay, so I guess there are no more questions. Yeah. So I guess there are no more questions. If you want, you can still ask. I'm finally asking, because from tomorrow onwards, we'll have topic-specific sessions. So today is a general session. So if you have any general questions, you can just ask.
Okay, sir, may I? Just one last question. Yeah, so I just want to share an incident that has happened in my life, and I just want you to, I want you to be critical about that particular incident. So I'm an English language and literature graduate, and while I was in my second year, apparently a new teacher came, and she told us to ask her questions, and we did. And I asked a particular question, and then she just blasted out. What happened was, like, she got really angry, and then she blasted out, and the next day she resigned. And then what happened was, like, the whole college management and people were like, Jebin, nee karanamanu ivaru poyathu, neeyanu vishayam, nee endina chodyam choichadu. So what, like, from that day onwards, I had this, I have a problem, like, what will the other person feel when I ask a question? So if someone blasts out when I ask a question, what is the best way I can,
Okay, your question has got 2 parts.
Good.
Number one, you did that particular person a favor by asking the question, because she was obviously in the wrong job and she used you to resign the job. She should thank you, or give you a good treat, or send you a gift coupon in Amazon or Flipkart for helping her get out of the place. Obviously, she didn't want to use the job. She used you as a scapegoat. Point number one. Point number 2, if somebody blasts you in asking a question, if somebody does not have the, what do you say, moral, I would say a moral, whatever, this thing, not to handle a question in a unemotional manner, they should not be in a position to ask questions. That's the second thing. Third thing, if you feel the person is unnecessarily blasting out, you definitely can say sorry, because in English, that 5-letter word is the most misused word. Sorry, third, telling the college management, telling you, saying that you're you must have asked something which is really bad, one, or or she didn't understand what you said. ഇതുപോലെ പാരകളാണ് ഞാൻ പഠിപ്പിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ വേണ്ട എസ്കേപ്പ് വന്ന് എസ്കേപ്പ് വായിക്കാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു സാമ്പിൾ വെടിക്കെട്ടായിരിക്കും. അത് കാരണം അതിപ്പോ രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടെന്ന് കൂട്ടിയാൽ മതി. Don't feel bad about it. Be happy that you help somebody get a better job. That's what I would do. എന്റെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ് ഒരാളെ ജോലി രാജിവെപ്പിക്കാമെങ്കിൽ ഏതോ മോഹൻലാൽ സിനിമയിൽ പറയുന്ന പോലെ മോനെ ദിനേശ് അടിപൊളി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആയിരുന്നു.
താങ്ക് യു സർ. ശരി, അപ്പൊ ഇനി അടിപൊളി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചോ? ഇനിയും വരുമ്പോ
പഠിച്ചോളാം. I am okay. I am ready. I am waiting.
Okay, sir.
Thanks. Been a very nice session. This made my day.
Okay,
Right.
so yeah, so I'm hoping there are no more questions.
Yeah.
And so we come to the end of this Q&A session. I now invite Meera to give the vote of thanks before we end.
So I hope we all enjoyed this session conducted by BBC CET Club. It's my honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks to each and every one of you who helped us make this session happen. I'd like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Babu Sivadasan sir, for taking his time away from his daily schedule to be here with us today. Mr. Murugesh sir, we're more than honored to have you here as our guest and our trainer, and for such an informative session. I'd like to thank our placement officer, Sunil Kumar sir, without whose support this event would not have been possible. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank our alumni, all the volunteers and our faculty members. Without those unflinching dedication and support, this event would not have turned into reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Meera. So with that, we come to the end of today's program. Remember, today we'll have the CV session, the resume making session. So I hope you all enjoyed today's session and learned something new. Thank you again, Murugesh sir, for heading today's session. So tomorrow's session will be at 7 p.m. also. Once again, I thank everyone for joining us and hope you all are safe and take care. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. വിജയധര സാർ, നമസ്കാരം.
ആണോ എന്നെ ഒരു അൺപിൻ ചെയ്യൂ. എന്റെ
ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി അൺപിൻ ആണല്ലോ.
എന്റെ വൃത്തിയറ്റ മുഖം ഞാൻ കണ്ടോണ്ടിരിക്കുക.
ചേഞ്ച് ഗാലറി.
ഇപ്പൊ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു ഓംബുഡ്സ്മെൻ